Hey you guys, so I posted yesterday about, was it yesterday? Maybe the day before, about some stuff that I've been kind of changing in my own life. And the reason I'm doing this is, as a lot of you know, I do suffer with a chronic and rare autoimmune condition, and sometimes life gets overwhelming, and especially when you're dealing with something like a chronic condition like that. You don't have control over that specific thing, and so sometimes like life, just every little tiny thing life throws at you feels so huge because you're already dealing with something that is so huge. So I kind of go through these periods of grief, just like coping with what I'm going through, and then being a health coach, it's not really an option to like sit there in grief, at least not to me, and I don't think that's a good place for me to sit anyway, because quite frankly, stress equals higher cortisol in your body, equals acidity, equals inflammation, equals more autoimmunity. So I'm not going to put myself in the position to be a sitting duck for more health issues or to prevent myself from healing. So that's why when I go through these little phases, I take a moment and I cry it out or do whatever I need to do. And then I think, okay, like, how do I get my head back in the right space? How do I move forward? And so I've really been focusing a lot on personal development, as I keep telling you guys, because that's the thing that's getting my head back in the right space. It's so easy for us to fall off track and go into a depression or an anxiety or, all these crazy things our brain will do to think that it's coping. But I don't ever want to go there. I don't want to let myself sink there. So when I feel it coming on at all, I readjust my game plan and I do something different. So I've been listening to tons of podcasts, first of all. Also, I've been reading The Compound Effect, and it's so funny because I've been reading it at a pretty slow pace. And this one chapter, I swear it found me on like the exact night that I needed it. And the chapter was about momentum, basically, and it focuses a lot on business, but it really, people who are successful in business, they're generally successful in life. They have these certain routines or habits that make them successful everywhere. They're not generally just successful in this like one tiny area. So in this particular chapter, he talks about his method for having a routine and having a rhythm, as he calls it, in order to continue bettering himself and moving forward and hitting goals and not staying stuck and being a generally productive person. So I took his example and I made my own, and so I wanted to show you guys. So I talked about this a little bit on my post, but I just kind of wanted to make a video about it. I basically made a chart and I wrote, first of all, weekly goals for myself, things that I want to definitely accomplish every single week, and then I made a column for how many times a week I want to accomplish them. So, for example, I have on here, workout. My goal is to work out 5 days a week. Drink my Shakeology. My goal is 6 days a week. Do personal development 5 days a week. Meal plan once a week. Take a full day of relaxation once a week. Pray 5 days a week. Gratitude, like waking up and just saying, like, this is what I'm thankful for today, 5 days a week. Date night, 1 night a week. So I'm really like, it's everything. Walking my dog 3 times a week. It's everything from my business to my relationship to my family, my home, my own health journey, everything put on there, and then giving myself specific goals for how many times a week I want to do that. And then I additionally put a little extra column for monthly. So one of the things that we're having issues with right now is Diesel's aggression. So we need people to come into our home and help us manage that with him. And quite frankly, that's like, I wouldn't say out of my comfort zone. I'm not uncomfortable with it, but it's like just out of my realm of what I would normally do. I'm a homebody. I'm cool to just hang with like Anthony and Diesel and my parents. And so to make an effort to like get people over is, above and beyond what I would normally do. So I want to do that at least twice a month. And then also for yearly goals, like I want to go up to the family cabin in Big Bear at least 6 times a year and take one major vacation 1 time a year. And then I also set some limitations for myself. My health has been funky, so I know what I need to do to help myself in the capacity that I am able to. So I'm going to try to limit to 2 cheat meals a week, so no more than 2 cheat meals a week, and then no more than 1 evening of drinking alcohol a week. So just to give you an idea, this is what that list looks like. So you can see there's all my things, and then I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the goal number that I have set for myself, and then an empty number column, so after a week I can like check in and see like how many did I get. And then at the top I put a few little notes for myself as well. Like, I need to start listening to podcasts while I'm showering, because getting in PD has been tough for me because I don't always have time to sit and read a book, or quite frankly I don't always want to make time. And when I have time, I'm like, I want to be with my man and my puppy and my parents, and I want to be having a life. So I was like, a way I can sneak in PD with pretty much no sacrifice to me is just to throw a podcast on while I'm in the shower. So like, that's one tip I left for myself. Drinking more green tea. That's something I used to always do. I don't know why I stopped doing it, maybe because it got hot or something, but it's something that just relaxes me, that's good for your metabolism, full of antioxidants. I'm like, why did I stop doing that? So drink more green tea. And then another thing, this is like a bizarre fact about me, but most people put on music to like focus or relax, kind of their background noise, and I cannot. Because as you guys have seen on my page, I'm sure, I sing. That's just something I'm super passionate about that I love. So if music is on, like, I'm singing. I can't help it. I get so focused, like the way that a lot of people will get distracted by like a movie or whatever. That's how I am with music. I just can't think of anything else when music is on. It's like, I'll literally stop talking in the middle of a conversation and like bust out in song. It's who I am. But so anyway, I leave the TV on 24/7. And that to me is my background noise. I don't really pay a lot of attention to it. It's just on. It doesn't distract me from doing things that I need to do. I don't stop and watch the TV. That said, I've just been feeling so cluttered. I just have so much stuff going on between, my family and my home and my health and my business and all this, and my brain constantly feels like it's on fire. And so something I'm practicing this week, and it's oddly hard for me, is just turn the TV off. Like, if I'm sitting here and I'm devoting this next 1 to 2 hours to responding to messages and talking to people who are, business related conversations, that's what I'm going to do. The TV is off. It is silent. I'm focused, and I'm trying to give myself some time to kind of clear my head and rejuvenate. So just left myself some little notes. Another thing I'm doing on top of that is creating a specific morning and a night routine. So something that I mentioned is that that I learned from Compound Effect is that the middle of our day, we don't have a ton of control. Things happen, like whatever. Your mom calls, she has a flat tire, you have to go pick her up. You get a call from someone in business, this deal went through. Now you're like doing damage control. Your child has the flu and comes home from school sick. Whatever. Like, you really can't control what happens in the middle of your day, and you just kind of have to take it as it comes and deal with it. But we pretty much always have control over how our morning starts and how our night ends. And this is a huge one for me because I got in this habit of working my business at nighttime. And I told myself it's because I'm busy all day long, right? So I just, at nighttime is when I can sit down and I can just like focus on my messages and talk to people and whatever. And I found myself like getting really stressed out and really burnt out, and I would see Anthony and Diesel sitting there and they're watching a TV show or they're going to the dog park, and I'm sitting there trying to like crank out work. And so it's like, not only am I bummed that I'm not getting the family time, but I'm not putting 100% into my conversations either, because quite frankly I'm sitting there feeling like, oh my god, is it done yet? Like, I really want to just be hanging out and relaxing. So I finally was like, that's why I made this schedule. I was like, I need a different schedule that allows for me to work not at night, or at least not at night as often. And also, if I made a morning and a night routine, I knew that would set me up for making that happen. So, like, for my morning routine, I need to start getting up earlier, period, end of story. It kind of sucks, but at the end of the day, if I'm going to bed earlier, getting up earlier isn't going to be that hard. And then I wanted to start off on a positive note. So I'm going to start off every day with gratitude, just saying, this is what I'm thankful for today, whatever comes to my mind, by sending love to someone, by just thinking, I know that tonight my mom had a rough week. I'm going to send her like basically my good vibes. Or, I was just thinking of that person, that contact I just added on Facebook who, she mentioned that her uncle had surgery, and like I've been thinking of her, and I'm going to send her and her family like love and healing and positivity, and just kind of throw that out into the universe. And then I'm going to think about what is my number one goal in general. What is it I'm looking to accomplish right now? And then think of like, what 3 tasks do I need to prioritize today to make that goal happen? And it can be anything. Like, honestly, lately my goal a lot has to do with Diesel and making sure that he gets on track, because he's 8 months old, so he's still trainable, but there's going to come a point where these things are ingrained in him. So we have a huge responsibility to focus on him. Another one for me is my health, focusing on my own health journey and making sure that my condition gets on track for myself, for my family, and so that I can also be there to help you guys. So things like that. Then me and Diesel have a whole breakfast routine I won't go into, but doing that, getting dishes done, getting ready to go for our walk, and by 9:20 in the morning, I want to be on our walk and do a 40-minute walk with the dog, come home, work out, shower, make myself a healthy lunch, and then I'll have plenty of time for other things. At that point, it'll be about 12:45 where I'm completely done with like all of my necessity type things, and then I can focus on work, I can focus on laundry, I can focus on filing paperwork, whatever the hell it is that I happen to need to do that day. That's what I'm going to do. So I made up that schedule, and that gives me this scheduled time to accomplish the stuff that is normally keeping me up till 1 in the morning. So it's like no more staying up till 1 in the morning, no more stressing when the boys are hanging out and I'm working. I need to reprioritize. And another part of that, and I talked about limitations, is social media. So my social media does have a lot to do with my business, but I think that's an excuse as well. I think there are a lot of times where I'm like, well, I'm on here and I'm totally doing something for work, right? And I convince myself of that. Like, I genuinely believe it. But really, I'm just like scrolling through like, oh, cool, this person went to a beer festival this weekend. Oh, this person's kid looks so cute in their first day of school outfit. Oh, my friend got a puppy. And it's like, that's all well and good, and that can be scheduled as part of my relax time, but that shouldn't be my time during the day where I'm supposed to be productive. That really is a distraction from more productive things I could be doing. So I need to prioritize like what's really more important here. So a big thing that I'm doing is like cutting back on just the random scrolling of social media, which is a very hard addiction to break. And that's something I was actually learning in one of my podcasts as well, was like, our phones and computers are basically an alarm. So like our ancestors, we had these instincts of fight or flight. And so that's like where kind of like stress comes from, basically. And that had a purpose when you were being chased by a saber-toothed tiger, but that doesn't really have a purpose in our life. We're so distractible, and we have this phone attached to us, and every time that you look at your phone, you think a saber-toothed tiger is chasing you. I'm not even joking. This is the truth. Like, you think there's someone that needs to talk to me. There's someone I could be talking to. Oh my gosh, other people are moving their businesses forward. Other people are making better friendships. Other people are, posting cuter selfies. Other people are whatever. And you become like constantly obsessed with thinking. There's this alarm in your head like, emergency, pay attention. And it stops you from doing everything else that needs to get done. So a big part of what I'm going to be doing is cutting back on my social media during the day so that I can get my to-do list handled, so that at nighttime I don't have to think about any of it, and I can relax and I can prioritize my family, and I don't have to be sitting there like trying to relax but thinking, I should do this, I should do that, I didn't get this done today, and have that dialogue in my head. So then at nighttime, I am literally scheduling, if you didn't see on my list, to cuddle with my boys. I literally just want to lay there and I want to watch a show and I want to snuggle or whatever and just genuinely relax and unplug. And I also want to cash in, just like think about my day. How did it go? What was good? What was bad? What can be better? And to do some more PD if and when I can fit in. I'm not going to stress because I'm also getting that in while I'm in the shower. But reading part of my PD book, even if it's just 10 pages. And journaling ideas. That's another thing that I think is awesome, whether it's for a business, whether it's for your own mind, whether it's for something you want to do with your kids. After you've done a little bit of PD and you've taken some time to relax, think like, what's floating around in your head? Get it out on paper. It doesn't even have to be useful. I'm sure you'll trash 90% of the ideas, but 10% of them might be helpful and might give you inspiration later on the line for whatever. And also, it just helps you get the noise out of your head. So just write it on paper and be like, okay, now I don't need to think about any of that stuff because I wrote it down. I'm not going to forget. I don't need to keep replaying it. Like, now I can go to sleep and have a good night's sleep and start again tomorrow. So again, I actually wrote down my morning and evening schedule for myself on the back of this. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm sorry, I know it's like a super long video, but I think it's really important. I've been doing this all week now, and I feel 8 million times better. I was just spiraling. I could feel it happening. I could feel it coming on, and it was because of my health, and then my health just kind of snowballs. When I'm feeling bad about that, it's like, and then I feel bad about this person and that person, and then this person over here has an ugly blue shirt on, and that's pissing me off. Like, it just becomes like this kind of like downward spiral, and I refused to play into it. You know, I did that for years. I became a health coach because I'm done doing that, and because I want to help you guys be done doing that. So I wasn't going to let myself go there. So this is something I came up with, a system to help myself get in a better spot, and it's already making a world of difference, which is why I'm able to sit here and make an almost 20-minute video talking about it, because I have the time, because my to-do list is done, you guys. How badass is that? And now, tonight, when my husband comes home, I'll have time to cook dinner, or if we choose to go out to dinner, and you know, we can go to the dog park, we can watch a movie. Like, I'm not going to be stressed. I'm not going to be thinking that I need to be messaging you guys, no offense, but it's like, I did my job today. I got everything done. I've got laundry done. I got dishes done, walk the dog. We're good. You know, we get to hang out now. So I just wanted to share this. I know a lot of us struggle with these same kind of issues because really we're not adapted to live in this world. We can't evolve as quickly as our world has evolved, and so there is a lot going on in our minds, a lot of stress, a lot of clutter, a lot of noise, and it's hard to feel adequate, and it's hard to unwind. And so like I said, this is a system that I'm implementing in my own life to help, and I hope it can maybe help some of you guys. And again, I apologize for the longest video in the world, but I just wanted to really inspire you guys and give you guys some detailed info that'll hopefully help you. So I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and I will talk to you later.